Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. The other day I mentioned that I had written a blog back about 7 years ago of my top 40 musicians. That was well before I ever thought about starting a reaction channel or even knew what a reaction channel was. I went back and looked at that and realized I needed to update it. So I spent most of the weekend writing a new version of that, which is now my top 50. And instead of putting it on my old WordPress blog, I moved it up to my new Substack. I will put a link below if anyone wants to look at it. I warn you, it's a very long post of over 8,000 words, but it's kind of a blueprint for this site and shows, what songs I've already reacted to with links. I've done about 30 of the 50 artists, so about less than 2/3 done. And one that stuck out at me that I had not yet done a reaction to was The Who. The Who were a huge supergroup out of England as part of the British invasion, but they weren't that well known until they arrived at the Monterey Pop Festival in the summer of '67. No one had ever seen anything like it, especially the way they ended this particular set at Monterey. This is the last song. I think it was one of their first big hit, My Generation. I know I had the My Generation album. I just looked for it and I couldn't find it. I have to reorganize my albums too. That's the next step. Because I've got a couple hundred albums in vinyl. They're all mixed together now, and whatever organization I used to have, I can't put my finger on these albums when I want them. But here, from the summer of '67, the first really big appearance on the national stage by The Who. There are some black spaces in this particular video for technical reasons.
People try to put us talking down, yeah, just because we talking better. Things they do look awful. Talking about my generation. Hope I die before I get old. Talking about my generation. It's my generation. Why don't y'all fade away? I said that don't try and dig what we all see.
That's the kind of energy we're talking about. Players are Pete Townsend on lead guitar, and he does his famous windmill motion of his arm, some of those power chords. Roger Daltrey is the lead singer. He doesn't play any instruments generally. Drummer is the famous Keith Moon, who unfortunately died early, was famous for his very, very high energy drum playing. And then the quiet guy in the corner, John Entwistle, played the bass, and that was his little bass solo that he had there. A very, very good bass player, but not flamboyant at all. He just quietly sat in the corner and grounded the group. And you'll notice the stuttering delivery of the lines from Roger there. Never heard anything quite like that. Never heard anything like that since, really. That was a very unique vocal style that really caught everybody's attention. This gives you a little better idea of exactly who the Who were and how high energy they were in their live performances, and it's only going to go up from here.
Why don't y'all fade away? Don't try and dig what we all see. Talking about my generation. I'm trying to cause bad sensation. Talking about my generation. Talking about my generation. My generation, baby.
now the annex begin. You notice Pete took his electric guitar and rubbed it up against the microphone stand to create those weird noises. And the music is getting louder and louder. The drumming is becoming more and more frenetic. Wait till you see what happens next. Kick over those drums, Keith. I did enjoy that. Wow. You can imagine I was 16 years old in the summer of 67, and to see these blokes from England come in here and destroy the set, destroy the guitars, kick over their drums, make all kinds of crazy noises, and then singing about my generation. Well, that's the way we were coming up in the 60s. We thought that we were the cat's meow. Our generation was going to take over the world. The end results haven't been all that great, but we, at the time, we thought we were going to really, really change the world. And I guess we did, but not always for the better. Thanks for indulging an old man in some very youthful memories here.